What are we doing? We're going live. Have fun interacting with your viewers in real time. Yes, I always do. All right, so let's just wait for anyone to join the chat here. I don't know if I should start with a sermon or if I should just like freeball it, but you know, I'm feeling kind of nice because I just had a glass of wine and I'm just relaxing. So what is up, everyone, on this morning, evening, afternoon? What is everyone's time zones here? Thank you all for the likes. I want to know your time zones. Like, where are you guys at? Because like sometimes, you know, I'll be like saying good morning, or well, I never really say good morning because I'll be sleeping till the afternoon, but I'll be saying good evening, have a good night, and it's like morning somewhere. Ooh, Detroit, holla, what is up, Detroit? 5:30 p.m. Ohio. Ooh, Boston. Okay, so I have the United States up in here. Ooh, Switzerland. Oh my goodness. Woo. Howdy. Woo, Switzerland. What? It's like, what time is it in Switzerland? Like 1 a.m.? Oh my God, that's awesome. I love it. London. Oh, I love London. Oh, I love it. Ooh, Australia. Oh my God, that's on my bucket list to go on like a vacation. Obviously, now would be the perfect time because where I'm at, it's winter and you guys are in like summertime, right? You guys are in, I missed you. Ooh, Romania. Oh my God, I love it. Love it, love it. Germany, Belgium. Ooh. All right, we worldwide. What is up, everyone? And I just want to say this, okay? I feel like, ooh, Ecuador, holla. Okay, so guys, all of this with the time zones, right? This literally just occurred to me. This is why time doesn't matter with your manifestation, because if you could see in the chat, right? Ooh, Cali, what is up? I hope everything's good with you if you're in SoCal with everything I've been seeing about the fires and everything, even though we create our own reality. So know that you're always safe and protected. But guys, with time zones, right? Okay, so technically where I'm at, it's, oh God, I don't even know what date it is anyway, because calendars aren't real either, but it's like technically Sunday where I'm at. So where some of you are in Australia, it's already Monday, okay? And no matter where you are, even in Cali, right? Ooh, it is. Oh, what's up, Michelle? How are you, girl? Oh my God. Yeah, I was seeing all of that on my feed with the fires and everything. So time doesn't exist because where I'm sitting right now in this place in time, it's a different time for a lot of you in the chat. Okay, so this is another reason why time doesn't exist, because technically even on New Year's, right, it was still 2024, but motherfuckers in another time zone were already in 2025, which is more proof that I want to say you cannot focus on time with manifesting, because this right here, even with the time zones, you see that it's subjective to the individual. So do not ever focus on time. Okay. Ooh, I'm glad you're good, Michelle. Ooh, I changed your life. That's amazing. I appreciate that. I give you hope. Ooh, alien emoji. I'm glad. I'm glad that, you know, everyone is doing well in the chat over here. Oh, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Ooh, Michelle, I appreciate that. Thank you, girl. Ooh. You used to be sad and poor, now you're thriving. That's what I'm talking about. Holla, holla, holla. Yeah, I think that's good, you know. Like, I mean, guys, remember, I'm only talking about from what I've witnessed, what I've experienced, what resonates with me. So if you resonate with a lot of what I'm saying, but some of the stuff you don't with, always follow your own intuition. You know what I mean? I do not know everything, okay? I refer to you, everyone. Aw, thank you. Oof. Well, I'm glad that you, all of you guys here are enjoying the content. it is absolutely everything possible. Oh, thank you for the heart. Yes. And don't let anyone else tell you that it is not possible, or you're violating someone's free will, or there's karma, or there's something. Thank you for the gifts, everyone. I'm glad you love the videos. Woo! Oh, you love the lives? I'm glad. I love doing the lives, but you know, every time someone asks me, like, do you go live often, or what time do you go live? I'm like, I don't know, because again, like I just said, with the time zones, time doesn't exist. So I just jump on here when I feel it, right? Everyone's talking about karma when they aren't even Buddhist. I mean, you know, I'm not too familiar with Buddhism. I know that what they talk about in karma is like their belief system, but a lot of times when motherfuckers on here are talking about karma, they don't even know what they're talking about, because they're not using it from the Buddhist perspective. They're using it from like an egoistic perspective, where they're fucking butthurt, and they're just saying, oh, well, they're gonna get their karma because they wronged me or whatever. And it's like, no, like that's not even the way that it works. You know what I mean? So when I first started my spiritual journey, how's the beginning? I've always been spiritual, honestly. Like I just thought it was like psychic ability, rather than anything spiritual. Like I didn't really know what spirituality was, but I was always open to like psychic ability and things not being as they seem. And I always trusted my intuition more than I ever trusted the outside. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you love the lives. Hell yeah. Why is it when you feel bad, good things happen, and when you feel good, bad things happen? Well, look at what you just said right there. That could be a belief that you have, and it has to come true and be proven to you. Okay? Do other people's circumstances affect you? No one's circumstance can affect you unless you allow it. So you can observe things and be neutral about it and not give a fuck, and it's not going to affect you whatsoever, okay? I mean, that's just what it is. Like, nothing can affect you unless you give it permission to affect you. Nothing in the 3D, nothing that anyone says or does can affect you unless you take it in and ingest it as a truth or a reality for you, you know? Ooh, I make manifesting easy and understand. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think sleep tapes can be very beneficial, but you don't necessarily need them to manifest. They're just another technique to help you. But I'd recommend customizing your own sleep tapes on the Parrot app and listening to them. This way you can get as specific as you want, and it's your voice, and your subconscious is most familiar with your voice, so it's just gonna go right in there, right? Because if you hear another motherfucker's voice, your subconscious is like, you know what I mean? But your subconscious is, okay. I saw this thing. I don't know where I know I saw it on TikTok, but I forget who said it. They're like, your subconscious only knows you. Okay. So let's say something on the 3D occurs, and you know consciously that it has nothing to do with you, but you ingest it and you're like, oh shit. Your subconscious only knows you. So now it's going to personalize that to you. And this is just what it is. So that's why the sleep tapes work better, in my opinion, if it's your own voice, because your subconscious only knows you. So it's just easier to digest that information. You know what I mean? Ooh, keep up my videos. Thank you. Woohoo. I don't believe in soulmates. I mean, I used to earlier, like, I don't know, maybe when I was in like 6th grade or something like that, but it's really just another belief system. So if you believe someone is your soulmate, then what is your definition of a soulmate? That's what you're going to get. You know what I mean? It all comes down to your belief in it. Yeah, the sleep tapes in your own voice, for me, I just recommend. Yeah, twin flames. Oh God, twin flames. That's another one. Like, whenever I see a video on here, this person is your twin flame, runner, chaser, I immediately scroll away. I'm like, oh hell no, we have no time for that today. You know what I mean? There's no formula to manifest anything, because you can just declare something once and it can happen, and you don't need to do any formula or technique. It just really depends on what you're being aware of in the moment. Okay, so if you're aware of the lack of it, then yeah, that thing can be kept away from you in a span of time because you're looking at the lack of it. But you're just like, yeah, it's done, and you just carry on. The shit'll show up immediately. Oh, when you started coaching with me, you weren't in contact. Are you serious? Oh my God. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into your situation, but I mean, I definitely know that you've already made amazing progress with that, Michelle. I'm so happy for you, like legit. Do you meditate to open your chakras? I don't. The thing with me is that my views on meditation are very unconventional. Like, I think if you're cooking or you're cleaning, thank you, that can be a form of meditation. You don't have to sit in lotus position, like, oh, whatever the fuck they do, right? And opening chakras, again, like, you know, oh, thank you, Michelle. It's really just another belief system. Okay, if you don't believe in chakras, then you don't need to open them to manifest. So guys, like, if you really want to look at your own beliefs about spirituality, if you have any potentially limiting beliefs in regards to spirituality, because if you believe that you have to go and heal your inner child and do shadow work in order for you to manifest your dream life, then that's how it's going to play out for you. Not because that's a law, but because that's your belief. The law is the law. The law does not judge. The law just says you get who you are being aware of. So if you are being aware of being a millionaire and you're like, I'm a millionaire, I got this, and nothing in the 3D is going to shut that down. You're just like, I'm a millionaire, I don't give a fuck what my bank balance is. That's it. It's neutral. It does not matter. Okay? So why would you affirm to make someone disappear when you can just not think about them? Because that's the easiest way to make anything disappear. Because remember, the law just amplifies that what you are focused on. So if you want to make anything disappear, what you're not going to do is affirm that they're gone. You're just not going to focus on them. Ooh, you received $700? Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh my God, you listened to affirmations on YouTube and it gave you nightmares. I mean, hey, you know, that's why I recommend listening to your own, which, you know, can still give you nightmares. You know, it just depends. Because sometimes with the subconscious, if you're just inducing a new story and the subconscious is like, whoa, that's so far off from what we've always been trained to do, it might give you a nightmare. So I'm not going to tell you your own sleep affirmations are going to not give you nightmares, but you can just affirm in the affirmation, I always have pleasant dreams. Listening to this tape makes me calm. So I would add that in there if that's a concern of yours, you know. Oh wow, lucid dream meditations. That's, I mean, yeah, you know, the thing is, like, it really, if you set an intention before you go to sleep, whether you're listening to a meditation or a sleep tape or not, you can just say, all my dreams are pleasant. You know what I mean? And if you set that intention, or even if you are affirming that as you're falling asleep, then that's what's going to happen. Yes, I have astral projected. It's fun. It's interesting. You know, they say that everyone astral projects every night, but most are just not aware of it. So, do I trust YouTube sleep meditations? I don't really listen to sleep meditations. I mean, something that says there's a subliminal in it. Maybe the one that I personally, and don't go by what I say, but this is just my personal experience. I like celestial subliminals. Those, I don't know. I resonate with them. I'm not saying that there are, you know, that there are not other good ones, but those are just ones I resonate with, celestial subliminals. how do you control intrusive thoughts? You don't take them seriously, or you override them immediately with a robotic affirmation, or you just tell yourself, oh, that's a thought, it doesn't mean anything, moving on. Like, you can't, if an intrusive thought pops up, you don't want to entertain it. So whatever is going to work for you to get that thought out of there, like if you just observe it and you're like, well, I'm not this thought, this thought just surfaced, who cares? How can you deal with your manifestation? Does it come into fruition in the timeline we want? I mean, I personally would recommend not setting a time frame, because a lot of times that can cause an issue where now you're too focused on the timing of it, and you're focused on the timing of it, so it's going to just push it away, paradoxically. So I would suggest just, saying it's already done, it's done now. And if it crosses your mind, you just say it's done now, that's it. I wouldn't, like, you can manifest on a time crunch, but you really have to just drop it completely. And some of you might be able to do that, and some of you might just not be at that place to do that with this particular manifestation, although with other manifestations you might be able to easily do that. But I would just recommend saying it's done now. That's the safest bet, because if it's done now, it's already done. There's no time frame, right? Because you're the only one that's aware of time. Your consciousness is not aware of time, like your all-encompassing third eye, universe, God, source, whatever it is. It knows nothing of time. Oh, Michelle, I love working with you. You're awesome, girl. Okay, guys, with manifesting any person, anyone, it could be even a family member, it could be a coworker, it could be whoever it is. If you're manifesting something about them and you have a story about who they used to be, you have to get rid of that once and for all. You have to just not focus on it, because that version of them is already extinct, okay? It's defunct, it no longer exists. But you concentrating on that version of them that you perceived did you wrong, you perceived fucked up or whatever, you're just bringing that into the now moment. So you have to not look at that. And that can be an issue for a lot of individuals, because I understand. So if you really do want to manifest someone that you have a history with, even though the only moment is now, you need to just let go of every negative emotion that occurred from them. And I mean, really let it out, okay? Like, however you need to do that, okay? Write them a letter and burn it. I don't know. Vent out in the open to no one, just you by yourself. If you're alone in your car, let's say, scream at them, yell at them, let the shit out, let those emotions out, so that you can feel like cleansed of that entire past situation. Because theoretically, you have no past with someone. It's just that that story was so dominant in you, and these emotions that are negative in regards to that motherfucker have not been processed out of your physical vessel. That's what's keeping it alive in your now moment. So you just have to find a way to let it go, because you could manifest someone back, let's say, and the same shit could potentially play out because you never dropped the story you had about them, or the story that you had about relationships in general. Oh, that thing with how Joe Dispenza healed his back. Yeah, that shit was fucking amazing. I'm like, okay, if he can do that, I mean, legit, you could do anything. You know what I mean? So now you know what time it is for me to be discreet for a minute. Anything is possible, yeah. Woohoo! Okay. How did you get all this information about spirituality and manifestation? I never really looked at the world, the 3D matrix, the way that most motherfuckers do. So it was just kind of always in me. I always had an interest in things that are like unseen. I've read a lot of books on the subject. I've channeled a lot of information, which, if you don't know what channeling is just like information just comes to you and you're like, how did this get here? But it's like a download, and I would see things and I would make connections. Why would you say you manifested $1 million? You could just say I am a multimillionaire, because that's the individual you want to be with that money, right? Because you are the manifestation. I wouldn't say I always receive downloads. I'd say like a lot, like probably 75% of the time, probably more than that even. Or even if I'm just speaking to someone, like I already know, boom, like, okay, this is what it is, or this is what's going on with them or whatever. I just know. And anyone has this ability, you know what I mean? But it's just, are you tapped into it or not? Guys, this is, okay, TikTok is gone. Will you go to YouTube? Guys, this is a manifestation chat. So I just want to tell you all this one thing, okay? If you're believing the whole TikTok ban or whatever the fuck they're saying, guess what you're doing? You're letting the outer control you, okay? So now, why did you ingest that belief that TikTok would be banned? How many times have they said this shit? For like the past, 2 years? Maybe more than that? So here's a good lesson for anyone. If you're even looking at a major story, I don't care if it's all over your FYP, okay? And yes, I did mention the fires in California, but only because I know a lot of people personally that live in California, and I've seen pictures and I've seen videos and I've heard from them, so I trust them, so I know it's legit, okay? But unless you personally, have like a connection with someone who's on the inside of this TikTok ban thing, why are you taking it seriously? Okay. And again, even with the California fires, everyone that I know is safe in Southern California. That's just me. Okay. Everyone that I talk to, they're all safe and everything is good with them. So again, it just depends what timeline you're on. If you're in a timeline where there's a major story like California fires or TikTok ban, ask yourself why you're feeding into that, because you can only make it real by your attention and belief and focus on it. So I would say this is just a lesson for everyone, no matter where you're at, no matter what the media is saying, no matter what anyone is saying on here, okay? You have to know what's going on in your realm. And in my realm, TikTok is perfectly safe and fine. But yeah, even with politics, guys, it's like, with everything, even like, in other countries, if I see news from other countries, it's like, I know individuals that are really upset about it, and they're like going ape shit, and I'm like, is this personally affecting you? Do you know anyone there? Can you even vouch that this situation is true? Like, you have to really use your discernment, okay? You really have to use your discernment. Hey, Queen of Manifesting, what is up, girl? Like, you can't just take something at face value and accept it as truth, which is with any manifestation, okay? Because think about, okay, the TikTok ban story that's out there, okay? Yeah, that's might have been presented to you in the 3D on your FYP, but what, does it have to be true for you? No. Just like you're manifesting millions of dollars and you see your negative bank balance, does that have to be true for you? No. So you look at everything. This manifesting, the only law that exists, okay, is this if you want to call it law of assumption, law of attraction, that is the only law. You get what you focus on, period. Whether you want it, whether you don't want it, whether it makes you feel good, whether it makes you feel bad, whether you deem it as positive or negative, the law is always neutral. It does not matter. You focus on something, that shit grows. Anything. Okay? How not to waver or stay in the end state. The easiest thing, if you know, whatever, is to just, if a thought comes up about it, say, it's already done. I don't need to worry about this because it's already done. That's the easiest affirmation that anyone could use. I think I posted a video, was it yesterday? And I basically said the same thing. You just, you really only need one affirmation to stay in the state. And that's if the topic that you're manifesting comes to mind, you say it's already done. It's taken care of. It's taken care of perfectly and easily. That's it. Thank you, Queen of Manifesting, for sharing the live. Thank you so much. Mwah, I love you. Yeah, and also you don't want to think of yourself as wavering either, because now you're just bringing that into the chat, right? You're bringing the wavering into the chat. So you can just say, my mental diet is perfect. It's already done. That's it. Like, these things can really, you have to be mindful of these things that seem innocent or like they don't matter, but it's really the law. It's like, it's so specific. So if you're saying you're wavering, now you took your focus off the thing that you want to now, oh, I'm wavering. You see? And then now that grows. You see what I'm saying? So you have to really, really be mindful. This is the first time you see me live. Ooh, thank you for being here. How do you... Oh, Queen of Manifesting, you're a Pisces. Ooh, I bet you're a super visualizer being a Pisces, because Pisces are super, super visual. Like, they could just picture things, like, automatically. Rampaging. Okay, so what a rampage is really just robotically affirming. That's just my opinion. And you can do this if you want to hype yourself up, and you're just like, you start talking about everything that you want, everything that's so amazing for you. You could write down a list and you could read it and just like get really into it. But rampaging to me and robotically affirming are the same thing, which would just be like going in on the thing that you want, like full throttle, okay? Oh, you visualize with the Sims, okay. Woo! Yeah, everyone has their own style. Like, I mean, you could literally, like, even draw pictures, you know, if you're artistic, of the shit that you want, if that's what works for you. And if that's what gets you knowing that it's done, being in the wish fulfilled, or video games or anything, it doesn't matter, okay? Just find something that brings you peace, that you're comfortable with, and just go all in with your manifestations. Why would you feel guilty of not wanting to work and wanting to be taken care of? Like, number one, gods and goddesses have things offered to them and served to them. So if you're feeling guilt, that's coming from your ego. That's not coming from your God self, because God expects things to be just presented to them. Okay. Like, you have how many, statues of like figures, right? Are just, motherfuckers are bringing flowers and honey and change and all this shit, right? Motherfuckers are going up to statues of gods and goddesses, okay? And they're just, here's your offering, right? That's how you have to look at yourself. You're God, you're goddess. Things are offered to you. How to conquer your evil, wow. Maybe that's for someone. The ego is evil. No, there's nothing evil. There's no good or evil unless you perceive it as such. But you're not going to fully get rid of the ego because you're in a 3D vessel. And the ego is what keeps you in the 3D vessel. So If you're in a 3D vessel, there are ways to quiet the ego, but in my opinion, you're not going to fully get rid of it, because it can potentially just come up, because that's what separates you. That's what says that I'm different from you in the way that my physical vessel is not your physical vessel. It's just, that's what it is. Okay, so anytime an egoistic thought comes up, you just say, oh, that's cute, but we're listening to my God consciousness, because that's what it is. Ooh, I'm glad you watch my videos daily. Well, you can't really look at the ego as a nuisance, you know, because ego, it's like your avatar, okay? It's your avatar of who you are in the 3D. And maybe Queen of Manifesting, you see, still here, girl, if you are, if not, no worries, but with the video games, right? Okay, because ego in Latin means I. Okay, so this is you, this is I. Like, you say I am, and then you'll say your name, okay? That's your avatar. This is the suit that you get to pilot around in the matrix. So the ego is not a nuisance, because the ego is I. It's like, this is who you are in the matrix of the video game. And this is your little character that you get to pilot around, and you get to enjoy all these physical sensations that if you did not have an ego, if you did not have a body, if you did not have an I, right? You didn't have that avatar, you know, you would just be everything all at once. So it adds another layer of pleasure for you to enjoy shit in the matrix, right? Because think about it, right? Like the things that you want to do with your SP. The things that you want to do with your SP. Like, yeah, you could imagine it, and you could experience it in your mind all day long, but when you get that extra layer of physical, tangible, like you're touching and you're right? How is that a nuisance, my dude? Like, okay, like you want the most delicious ice cream. Yeah, you could taste it in the ethers, but your avatar, your ego, is allowing you to have that extra flavor of you be able to taste that on your tongue, and you're like, oh my God, so amazing. So you can't look at the ego as all bad, okay? It's just not, you know what I mean? I'm like looking in the chat here. I feel like I get into these random sermons and then I just like start talking, but wanting something or a manifestation, you are the thing. You can't want something that you are. So if you are wanting something, you're perceiving it as being separate from you. That's the ego, because remember, the ego differentiates. I am in this vessel, you all are in your own vessels. There is a separation, right? But the God consciousness, the source, the universe, all that there is, the difference between, because the ego is I, right? Ego means I, okay? The I am. Okay, I am is God. Okay, so you're not separate from the manifestation. You say, I am the manifestation. All things are made manifest through me. The manifestation cannot exist without me. It cannot exist. That's why you have, I said this in one of my other fucking lives, right? There's a whole plethora of shit, okay, that is just waiting for you to explore, okay, in your avatar. But it's counting on you to make it real, because it can't be real without your God fucking focus on it. It cannot. So that's why you have these desires, because they're like, God, look at me. Oh, pick me, pick me. That's how you have to think of your desires. So then you choose the one that best suits you in your opinion or whatever the fuck, right? And you're like, I want to experience this. So, okay, yeah, I am it now. Oof, I've embodied. I am the manifestation. I am the millionaire. I am in my perfect relationship. I am in my dream home. And that is what it is. You're not separate from it, okay? The thing is coming to you. It wants you to make it real. Only you can make it real. Because you made shit that you didn't want real, right? But you were still manifesting it, okay? But you didn't do a whole bunch of techniques to get some shit that you didn't want. Exactly. It can't be real without your focus. because nothing is real unless you give it attention. Ooh, that's a loaded question. Do we manifest how we or how other people? My short answer is yes. That's the short answer, but I feel like that might be a touchy subject, and I don't know what the TikTok is going to say about that. But yes, the short answer is yes. Does the moon affect how we feel, or is that a belief? In my opinion, that is a belief, because astrology is a belief. And if you believe that, even science, right? If you want to look at like moon phases, oh, the moon is full, so all of that shit, you still got to believe in it for it to be true. Because there are individuals who don't believe in astrology, and it doesn't resonate with them. They're like, nah, there's motherfuckers out there that don't believe in manifestation, okay? It's not that they're not manifesting it, but they're manifesting that they don't see that manifestation is real, but they're still making that a manifestation. So you have motherfuckers that just say, oh, that was a coincidence. Okay, I mean, it's valid to them, don't mean it's valid to me or you, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I believe to an extent with astrology and tarot, but I don't take it as like it's telling me what to do. I use it more as like a fun tool or like entertainment purposes. Yes, you can manifest better health and thinking patterns for loved ones, and what you're going to do is just picture them as the ideal version that you want them to be, and that's how they have to show up for you. Yeah, I don't think there's such a thing as coincidence. Do I believe in birds before land or bridge of incidents? It can happen, but it's not necessary. Do I believe in them? Maybe to an extent, but again, it's only if you're looking for it. Okay, so if you're not looking for it, if you just declare that the thing is done and you go about your business, everything in the 3D might be quiet and the shit just might appear in front of your face. Was there a BBL? Was there a bridge of incidents? It's not going to seem like it to you because you're not on the lookout for it. So yes, I believe that individuals experience that because they're looking for it, not because it actually is a requirement for the manifestation. Because, you know, God said, let there be light, and there was light. I am the beginning, I am the end. He didn't say I'm the BBL. You know what I'm saying? Like, God doesn't say, oh, well, I am the bridge of incidents. No, even though you technically are, if you're getting BBLs or if you're getting a bridge of incidents, it's because you created it, but that's not a requirement by any means. Thought transmission is very real. It's always going on, and it goes on with everyone and everything. It goes on in circumstances that you might not even think that it's going on. It can go on, like, let's say you go to the bar and you're like, oh, all the bartenders at this particular place are shit, right? They're rude or whatever. They're still getting those thoughts, even though it's someone that you're not like closely affiliated with. But then what's going to happen every time you go in that bar, you're going to get shit service because you were sending them those thoughts. So it's not only, you know, someone that you're in close proximity to. It's constant. It's constant with everyone. Okay. And yes, it is instantaneous. Now, whether the motherfucker takes action on the thought transmission immediately, you know, sometimes they might, but other times, you know, it might be a little later that they take action, but they're always getting it. How long does it take to shift realities? You're shifting realities in every moment. You look over here, I'm a multimillionaire, then you look over there and then you're broke. That you just shifted a reality. It's where your focus is. The reality shifting is not, it's not as complicated as a lot of motherfuckers would have you think, okay? Why can't you stop thinking about them? Because you're saying that you can't stop thinking about them. And that's really what it is. So you can just say, I don't think about this motherfucker anymore. And every time if they pop up into your mind, who is that? That's the easiest thing to do with that. Yes, awareness is key. Awareness is definitely key. You get what you're aware of, like, all the time, okay? People can see you shift. They're just not saying anything. Sometimes you will put, I mean, if that's your belief, then that's how it's going to play out for you. For me personally, I don't piss anyone off because I stay in my lane and I mind my business, and that's just one of my things. I'm like, everyone I encounter is a friend of mine. Everyone loves me. So why would you think that you're pissing someone off? You see what I'm saying? How did I get into manifestation? I originally thought I was psychic, even though I still have the belief that I'm psychic. So obviously that's going to play out in my 3D, even though it is a belief. But I've just always been tapped into other realms. So I always looked at like the 3D as like, okay, what, like, that's not all there is. It's just I don't remember not thinking that way, honestly. Yeah, everyone either wants you as a friend or a lover, or you don't encounter them. Like that's just the best thing that you could possibly say. There are issues and advantages with beliefs. If you have a positive belief, a belief that, because no belief is positive or negative, but you know what I mean, a belief that you enjoy, that you find that serves you, that you perceive as serving you. Every time I go to the casino, I win $5,000. That's still a belief. It's a belief. So you might want to keep that belief, okay? Like, compared to every time I go to the casino, you lose money. You know what I mean? Like, it really just depends. Ooh, I love you too. All of my socials are listed in the link in my bio. You don't need to detach. You're not like, guys, you're not detach. Like, remember, I just said, right? I am is the God state. You are everything. So you're not detaching from anything, because you are everyone and you are everything. So detachment just means that you're not focused on the when or the how the thing is going to show up. It's not even in your awareness. So when you want to think of you being in the God state, you get what you focus on. It expands, okay? If you're detached, you're not looking there. You're not looking at anything of that realm, okay? So let's say me, for example. I don't know. I'm just going to use this. I don't give a shit about calculus. I do not think about it. I have no interest in it. Don't know anything about it, don't care to know anything about it. So am I, like, I'm aware that it exists, but I don't place my focus there. I'm tuned out. I'm not looking at it, okay? Because I don't give a shit about that topic. So that's how you have to be. Like, you can be aware consciously that, yes, there's time and there's calendars and all of that shit, but you're not placing your focus there. You're just placing your focus on, I am that now. Okay, so you're not detached from anything. It's just you're moving your awareness to something that you do want. And if you're not focused on something in your universe, it technically cannot exist to you. Okay? And this works with anything. This works with anyone. If you're not focused on a person, they don't exist. How do they exist? You're not giving them attention. So where are they? No one knows and no one gives a shit, because you don't want them around, so you don't focus on them. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, no, acting as if is not being positive all day. Acting as if assuming the state of the wish fulfilled, as Neville Goddard speaks about, is you know the thing is done the way that you know your name. You're not questioning it. You're not looking, oh, but what's my name? You're not constantly going to your driver's license. What's my name? You just, this is what my name is. That's it. There's no feeling associated to that. That's the wish fulfilled. It's just a knowingness and it's neutrality. There's no emotion associated with that. How to see instant results? You just have to know that it's already done. Like the more you focus on wanting to see an instant result, it's like now it's in a way it's like you're being impatient, because with the knowing of the I am statement is that it is already done and you don't need to see it, you just need to know it. Okay, like I said with, everything in the 3D, like you're looking at the 3D to tell you what it is, but that's the wrong way to manifest. Okay, you can't look for results. You can't give a shit if you see anything or not. Okay, so the hardest thing with manifesting, because manifestation is easy, creation is finished. The hardest thing really for a lot of individuals is to not look at the 3D, to not check the 3D, to not try to take action in the 3D. That's the hardest part. You just have to know it's done and not care. So if you're fixated on seeing instant results, I guarantee you that's your ego. But where is it? Show me proof. No, you are the proof. You don't need instant results. You just know it's done. Because there's a lot of times that you just knew something, right? And then it happened, but you didn't even think about it again. You just knew that it was going to happen, and then it happened. And then when it happened, you're like, you see, I told you that shit was going to happen. Because you knew it. You declared it. You didn't do it. You didn't check the 3D. So that's what the biggest thing with anyone is, like they're looking at the 3D and they're taking it seriously. And anything in the 3D is always showing you who you are, no matter what the circumstance is. Okay? So I could look at a news story. Let's just say, pick a news story. It doesn't matter, okay? Someone else next to me could look at a news story and I'm going to take away something. I'll be like, that has nothing to do with me. Okay, that's a story. Moving on. Someone next to me could take that up the butt. Okay, up the butt, around the corner, okay? Now they're vomiting this story out because that's how far up the ass they took it. It's coming out their mouth, okay? So that's showing you that the 3D circumstance, the news story is neutral. But I took it a particular way and someone else took it another way. And that's showing you who you are. The reflection of the 3D, right? Let's say it's, whatever. I just use news because that's like a collective program, right? Or anything in pop culture or entertainment, okay? And I'm looking at it like this. That's showing me who I am. I'm not paying attention to 3D. But motherfucker next to me, now they take the news story seriously, okay? And that's showing them who they are. So all circumstances are neutral. It's just how you're interpreting it with everything. Exactly. I mean, being stoic can help you get what you want. If that's your belief, again, you don't have to be stoic, okay? You could see a news story of like someone rescuing a rabbit from a fucking sewer or some shit. And you could be crying happy tears. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Whatever, right? Let's just say you see something and it makes you happy. That's still getting what you want because you're in that feeling of like, oh, this is amazing. Like, isn't everything so beautiful? Like, right? Like, you could look at it that way. But someone else is stoic and it's not, they're just like, oh, okay, that's what it is. So it doesn't matter the feeling. It really doesn't. Because your feelings, the emotions are fluctuating throughout the day. It doesn't, oh, thank you. It doesn't matter. Okay? Because I could know something and I could be feeling this, that, the third. Moods fluctuate, okay? But I still know something, okay? So you know what your name is. Everyone on here, okay? knows what their name is. Cool, okay? You feel this way in the morning, then in the afternoon you feel another way, then in the evening you feel like that. Did that change that you know what your name is? No. And that's the difference. You didn't once question when you were pissed off because you were in traffic, I wonder what my name is. No, didn't fucking matter. Oh, your significant other bought you a bottle of fucking Grey Goose, right, as a surprise when you came home. You were happy. Oh my God, that's so sweet. Thank you. Did that affect? Oh, well, I still got to check what my name is, even though, no. So you have to know it like you know your fucking name, and it's not going to matter the feeling. When you, here's the thing with manifesting. This is what I've seen, okay? This is what I have noticed with successful manifestations of conscious creation, something that a motherfucker did want, okay? Thank you, I appreciate that, okay? They just knew. They just knew. And whether, you know, I mean, even in, let's say, you know, I've been talking to someone and they're telling me about their previous situation. They're like, they just knew that was going to happen. It was something they didn't want. I'm like, okay, but what can we take from this? You just knew. You knew it was going to happen. It didn't matter if you affirmed all day long for it, against it, didn't matter. You knew it was going to happen and it happened. So that is the state of the wish fulfilled Neville Goddard. You just know it. The feelings don't matter. Nothing. I repeat, nothing. Okay, write this shit down. Nothing overrides something that you know. Because knowing is from the I am state. It is God. Okay? I am God and I know all because I am all. That is what it is. Knowing. It overrides a feeling. It overrides a belief, okay? Because if you believe something like, yeah, it's a belief, but a knowing is, that's it. That's done. That's it. So you have to, you know, and yes, you can manifest something not knowing purely. You can still have doubts. You can still waver as long as you're predominantly in the belief that it's happening, right? You still can, okay? Because if 75% of your energy is like, yeah, you know, I believe this and this is good and this is good, and you're looking at things positively, yes, okay? But that's why you still need the techniques and the affirmations and all this shit, because you're still a little bit like, right? But you're mostly there, okay? It's like loading, okay? It's like loading. It's like the phone is 75% charged. It ain't 100% charged, but it's 75%, which you could still do a lot of shit, okay? But it ain't 100%. When you know something, you don't need proof. You don't need a motherfucker to tell you. Someone could come in your face, tell you the opposite. You laugh at that motherfucker because you're like, but I know, right? Your phone is 100% charged. A motherfucker... You're gonna try to say, oh, well, you on 10% right now. You're gonna fucking laugh. You'd be like, what? That's the difference. Is shadow work to find limiting beliefs? I mean, guys, if you watch my content, I'm not a fan of shadow work. I mean, I'm not against it, but I don't think it's necessary to get what you want, because remember, every moment is brand new. So technically, if you just say, I know that I am everything and everything in my life is perfect right now, that can be enough, okay? To get you what you want. And you don't need to ever look back to the past, because shadow work, remember, is the past, and the past technically doesn't exist. Now, the only reason I recommend, if you have a recurring pattern, okay, you might, I'm not saying shadow work, but you might want to find out what that pattern is. Like, what is the baseline of that pattern? Is it something where you can't keep a job? Okay, you can't keep a job. So, well, how many times does this happen? If it happened like more than 2 times, okay, then it's you, okay? So now you have to look, well, what is your belief about jobs and money, okay? Because then you're gonna find what that belief is. You don't need to go and say, because ain't nothing wrong with you. It's just an app that was installed somewhere in your psyche. Shadow work, in my opinion, from the spiritual motherfucking community, is like they try and tell you some shit is wrong with you. Okay, that shit, I don't give a fuck. Shadow work journal. Oh, hell no. Because you're going to sit there, you're going to take time, you're going to put your God spotlight focusing on shit that is wrong with you, writing shit down. No, motherfucker. Okay? If anything, you should have a fucking, I don't know, like pimp work journal. Like how pimp am I? How amazing am I? Make a journal about that shit. Why am I so dope? Ooh, why am I so sexy? Let me write this shit down. That's what you need to fucking be doing, in my opinion. Okay? So, if you have a belief, okay, that is a pattern, then yes, you should go and find out, well, okay, so the root cause, you can't keep a job. What is the common denominator? You have a belief that money is hard to come by, okay? So that's why you can't keep a job. Cool. Now you know what it is you've identified. So now you're just going to go in, you're going to override, and you say money is easy to come by. Money has always gravitated towards me. I am money. I am the currency. And that would be the only reason for you to go looking into something. Only if there's a fucking pattern. If there's no pattern and you think that you got into the spiritual community and oh, you have a twin flame, so you have to fucking do shadow work to figure out what the fuck is wrong with you so you can unite with this motherfucker. Fuck that. Fuck that. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing wrong with any of you in the chat. Yes, some of you might have a limiting belief in a particular area, but that's an app on your phone. That you could delete that shit. It has nothing to do with you. You're God. Ain't nothing wrong with God. You know what I'm saying? So, if ever you need to hype yourself up, you start writing all the shit that you love about yourself. I don't give a fuck what it is, okay? I don't give a fuck. And all you love at least one thing about yourself, okay? You love one thing about the way you look. You love one thing about the way you express yourself. You love one talent that you know you're good at, okay? You love one thing about your personality. There's at least one thing that you can find that you love about yourself. I would amplify that rather than shadow work. Suck my fucking junk. Yeah, the thing is, it can be a program that you grew up with, but also a program or a belief system can be ingested at other points. It doesn't have to be from childhood because, you know, that's I find that's a limiting belief too, that a lot of individuals are like, oh, well, you know, take a look at your childhood. You could have had an amazing childhood, but then you had your first relationship, like your partner cheated on you or something when you were like in high school. And then now you carried that belief into your fucking 20s or 30s, okay? That didn't come from childhood. So that's another limiting belief. You could pick up a belief anytime, anywhere. You really can. Just like you could pick up a good belief anytime, anywhere. I'm glad these lives are helping you. I enjoy doing the lives. I mean, it's just, you know, I get on here randomly and chit chat with you all. Ooh, thank you. Glad you all are enjoying this. Whee! Yeah, I do. Oh my god, I have so many lives like in the queue ready to be uploaded, but it's like I have to babysit it on my phone in order to like have it like download onto my phone from TikTok. So I have to like, you know, see when I can get around to doing that because I just I've, you know, been doing a lot. So if you want your cousin to break up with an abusive boyfriend, you just picture your cousin in a happy, healthy relationship with someone else. And you say, I'm so grateful that my cousin found the perfect partner for them. Guys, there's no after TikTok. You know, that's another, look at the way you're interpreting things that come into your experience. And Like I said before, I'm not going to go into detail again, but if you're looking at that TikTok story and you're taking it seriously, that is showing you that you're putting more belief into something outside of you than you have inside of you, and that's not how manifesting works. Okay, with anything. Okay, I don't care what is going on in your 3D. You have to know that you are the operant power, and everything in your universe is perfect. The hardest thing to comprehend is that you control literally everything. Yeah, it's you know, because once you discover like the law and you really look back at your life experiences in the 3D, even observing others, you'll see how not only you but everyone else creates their reality. And that can be, you know, now some individuals, not all, but they can be extra like paranoid, like, oh my god, I don't want to have a negative thought because it's going to manifest in it, like, you know. So what you need to do is just, you know, I would suggest, if you, anyone who's newly on the path of discovering conscious creation, you just have to say everything is perfect. Everything always has been perfect. Everything always will be perfect. Everything is always working out to my liking. Because you don't want to like now get paranoid. Oh my god, but I'm creating it, so I'm in control, so I have to like, and yes, it's important to be super mindful. You know, but if you have one negative thought, it doesn't matter. It just matters what you're focused on, okay? Oh, I answer your question. I'm happy. Yeah, God doesn't sweat shit, seriously. Yeah, you can always affirm my mind is always calm and at peace too. You know, that will help, because even with, you know, like mental health and things like that, if you affirm that you're always in a good mood, every day gets better and better, that things are just amazing for you, you're going to start to, you know, experience that. So I'm just waiting for the chat to catch up here. Acting as if, and this goes for any manifestation, you're conducting yourself as the individual who already has it. Okay, so if you're manifesting millions of dollars, a multi-millionaire is not going to constantly be checking their bank balance. Okay, they're not going to wonder, how is this getting paid, how is that getting paid. They're not going to you know, buy the cheap shit at the grocery store. They're going to get the name brand of the thing that they want, right? It's just like little things. I'm not saying go out and like, you know, circulate every dollar that you have, or pound or euro or wherever. I don't know where you guys are, or whatever is in your country, but oh, here we go, the fabulous puzzle piece. But you have to really be mindful of who you're being in every moment. Like if you're manifesting a relationship and you don't hear from this motherfucker all day, where's your mind immediately going? Is it, oh my god, did I do something? What are they doing? Or are you like, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm sure they were busy at work today. They'll hit me up tonight. That's it. So it's like, that's what they mean, in my opinion, by mental diet, because you have to look at where your thoughts are going. And if your immediate thought is going to someplace negative, you have an assumption in that area. Because remember, it's law of assumption. It's what you assume, okay? So if you assume more money than you expect to always be in your bank balance, that's going to be your first thought every time you log in. Okay, if you assume that your specific motherfucker is in love with you, if they don't get back to you right away, your first thought is going to be, oh, well, yeah, I know they're dying to talk to me. They probably just, you know, got caught up with work or something, or they're with their family or some shit. And it's whatever you affirm, whatever your affirmations are, that's going to soon become your dominant assumption. And that's going to be your first thought, okay? Someone who knows that they're a good chef is not going to freak out if they burn the chicken wings, because they're dominant as some show. I'm a good chef, so whatever. Yeah, okay. Like, and that's what happens. You're a chef? Ooh, that's fucking amazing. Can you manifest that you never dated an SP? Yeah, you can just, pretend that never happened, or every time that person crosses your mind, you can just say, who? I don't know anyone. They don't exist. But don't focus on them, because if you're focused on something, you're going to create more of it, whether you want it or not. And this is why it's like, if you have like a worry about something, and you ever hear that quote that motherfuckers are like, if you worry about something, you're putting yourself through the same situation twice. It's like, because what is worrying gonna do? Okay, it's only creating the thing that you don't want. And then because you're putting your focus on the worry, then the thing happens. So you experienced it twice, when you could just say, I have nothing to worry about. I'm always taken care of in every moment. Everything always is worked out perfectly for me. It's the same thing with appearance and weight. It's the same thing. All manifestation is you concentrated on the thing that you want and paying no mind to the thing you don't want. And it's just everything. That's how it works for everything. You don't pay mind to it. Or if the 3D is showing you something that you don't like, that is especially the time that you don't pay mind to it and you let it go. That's it. Can I talk to spirits? I have before, yes, but again, that's just another belief system. So if you believe that you can, then you'll be able to. If you don't believe in that, you're not going to, If you're manifesting health when you're in pain, I would suggest starting with like a ballpark affirmation, like I'm always feeling great, I'm always feeling amazing. Even if it sounds like the most ridiculous thing in the moment, or you saying, I'm feeling better already, I am feeling better already. Yeah, the 3D is irrelevant, and it's always like how you look at it. Okay, so the 3D, I mean, if it's something that you don't want, you're only making it more relevant by your focus on it. Okay, can you manifest moving to across the country to get an apartment? Yeah, just look at the apartment that you want to live in and start affirming or visualizing or scripting out that you're already there, and know that it's done. But if there's a specific apartment that you want, then definitely, picture that one. If it's just across country, you want to picture what neighborhood you're going to be in, or what does the scenery look like? You know what I mean? I just, yeah, you don't need a doctor, okay? You don't need a doctor, because you're the operant power, okay? You're the operant power. So if you're in pain, you can heal yourself with that, okay? But you really have to like know that what you're doing is working, especially if it's like something with your physical body and you are experiencing discomfort. You either don't think about it, okay, which may or may not be feasible depending on what the thing is, but you don't want to focus on that you have a problem in that area. Okay, so you just want to say my XYZ ABC is in perfect health. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, I am feeling great every day. I always feel great. I enjoy perfect health all the time. I always have so much energy. Every day I feel better and better. You want to start with that, you know. If you're paying attention to something that isn't materialized in the 3D, you're looking at the 3D, and that's what you should not be doing with manifesting. Checking the 3D for anything is a big no-no. You can't, like, you're you know, like, if you're manifesting something and you know it's done, or even if you're in the dominant belief that it's done, you're not going to even care to check the 3D. So that just shows that you don't believe in it, or there's something misaligned with your end result that you don't trust. And the key ingredient to any manifestation, you have to trust, okay? Like, because trusting is the ultimate knowing. Think about it, right? I just said, you know, the God consciousness is I am. And then when you are something, you know it because you are that thing. So you know. And you trust because you are all that is, and you know that it's done. So why would you need to check out there? You don't need to check. You don't need to do anything. You know what I mean? Oh, you moved from London to Paris, and next is New York because of my videos. That's fucking amazing. That sounds like fun. I mean, you can manifest things like, you know, it's like, if you want to locate yourself in a different area, you just say that you're already there, or you imagine that you're already there. But if there's a particular place that you want to live and you've never been to that place before, let's say it's a brand new country, what you're going to do is look at Google images of that place and just picture yourself there. You look at the pic. You don't have to visualize anything. You could affirm, I'm happily living in wherever the place is. If there's a particular house, or there's a particular Airbnb, or whatever it is, you go to that specific website and you look at it. You say, I am now living here. I am now living here. I am now living here. Whatever it is, you know. Oh my God, that's amazing. You don't even speak French. You got a job in Paris. That's what I'm talking about. That is what's up. That is lit. That is amazing. Why do some manifestations take time? Because you're perceiving that they're taking time. And you're still looking at the 3D, and you're still looking at time. Everything that I've manifested super fast, okay, I knew it was done and I totally forgot about it. It showed up in less than a week, okay? Most of them showed up that day or within 3 days, okay? And I totally dropped it. If there was something I was manifesting and the thought did cross my mind again, I just said it's already done. Shit showed up in like less than 2 weeks. Okay, but you really can't be concerned with it taking time or looking at the 3D. You just, if the thing crosses your mind, yeah, it's already done. It's taken care of. And you have to do something else. Whatever it is, take a fucking shower, go for a run, call your fucking homie, go to the bar. If the thing crosses your mind, it's already done. That's it. Nothing for me to do. I'm God. All is served to me perfectly, magically, and beautifully. That's it. Okay? Yes, exactly. If you know it's done, you're not thinking about time. You know it's done. So what is there to do, right? Like, you ordered the package, okay? It arrived. You open the fucking box. You have your shit. You're not, where is it? When's it gonna get here? No, because you have the thing. That's the fucking feeling of the wish fulfilled. That's all it is. And there's no feeling associated with it. It's just a conviction. Yeah, this is mine. It's done. That's it. Ooh, Michelin starred. Fuck yeah. Yeah, like if you walk in, okay, knowing I got this is mine. That's all you need to do. It doesn't matter about qualifications, resume, what language you speak, or previous work experience. Like, you just fucking know it's done. Exactly. You don't question if your pizza is on the way. It's like, that's it. Okay. Like, and that's like the analogy everyone says. You order a package on Amazon, or the server at the restaurant brings you your plate. Like, you place the order, that's it. Like, it's pretty much the same concept. Yeah, that's how it works. When you order something, you ordered custom tap dance shoes, you forgot about, they arrived 2 months early. Hell yeah. There was something I ordered like a few weeks ago. I ordered from Shein. Oh, love Shein, by the way. But I ordered this like huge order, and it was around like Christmas time, at least here in the States, the holidays, whatever. So they had sent me an email, and I ordered it express delivery, right? Because it just came with express delivery. And they were like, oh, I got the email, your package has been delayed. I looked at the email and I said, no, it's not. And I didn't even think about it again. Okay. A few hours later, they sent an email. We are pleased to inform you that your order has been shipped and it's on the way, or whatever they said, because I didn't take it seriously. I'm like, your order has been delayed. No, it hasn't. That's all I did. Okay. Literally, you just, yeah. Oh my God. You place the order, but the food arrives cold at times. I mean, if that's a metaphor for a manifestation, you might want to elaborate on that. But what I think you might mean is, if you get your manifestation and it's like there's something weird about it, or there's something you don't really like, I can guarantee you it's because you didn't have complete faith, or you were manifesting it and you knew it would come in, but you had an opposing thought, or you placed a condition on the manifestation. I can almost guarantee you. Like, literally. Because if you manifest something and it comes to you and there's like a catch, you're still the one that placed that catch on it. Okay? You put a condition on it. So you have to really, holla, what's up? Thank you for that. You have to really, really be firm with your mental diet. And I would suggest saying, whatever the manifestation is, all my manifestations arrive perfectly, easily, and beautifully, or magically. I like to say magically because that's just my thing. But if you just say perfectly and easily, better than I expect, that's just a blanket that's going to prevent any type of contradictive energy. So how did you get your manifestation? Perfectly, easily. Happened better than I expected. That's it. I've noticed that manifestations typically do arrive better than you expect, and they're easier than you expect, and they don't arrive when you're looking for them or when you're concentrated on it. This is why when you don't think about it, you just know it's done, and you go watch TV, you go jerk off, you go whatever the fuck you go do, all of a sudden the shit is in front of you. Okay, because you're just like, it's done, and so there's no contradictory energy that's preventing it from being there. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you. You can just say that you don't have any more limiting beliefs. I'm free to receive everything that I call to me. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I get it. There can be limiting beliefs that do get in the way that you might want to rectify, but only if there is a pattern. Because that means it's happened before, okay? And there's something in there. But if you just think that you want this thing and you don't have a limiting belief in that area, don't try to make up that you have a limiting belief. You know what I mean? Like, you say it's done and the path is free for me to receive this thing because I am this thing. Yeah, aligned action, like inspired action, is not going to feel like you're doing anything. You're just going to do it, and it's like you're going to be moved. So that's why I really like, if you're manifesting a person, okay, and they didn't get back to you all day, and you blow up their phone, that's not an aligned action. That's coming from a place of trying to move the 3D, okay? Which, that's not going to go anywhere because the 3D is already dead. It's stale. It's defunct. It's extinct, okay? So if you're manifesting a person, okay, and then you haven't talked to them, let's say a year you haven't talked to them, but then out of nowhere, you just feel inspired, like you pick up your phone, let me just text them, hey, what's up? But you don't realize it in the moment, like the action moved through you, that's an inspired action. And that's the only action, in my opinion, that you should be taking with the manifestations, okay? Yeah, because you don't need to do anything. If there is something for you to do in the 3D, trust and know that you will just do it. You will be guided to do it, and that's it. I've experienced this many times, okay? Like, I would just be saying an affirmation or, whatever. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I want this. And then I think about it. Oh, it's already done. And then I would get like, sometimes I would get a voice telling me to do something. Sometimes it would just be a feeling, let me do this. Like, it happens. Like, and you're not going to feel forced. It's not going to be coming from a place of fear or trying to manipulate the 3D. Yeah, if you're doing something from a place of anxiety, like, yes, you can get an immediate, like, short-term result. You might get a response, but odds are it's not going to be the response that you wanted. So, I mean, unless there's like a blatant situation where you're in physical danger or someone is disrespecting you in your face, okay, I'd recommend just not doing anything. Just not doing anything, okay? I mean, if you're in a toxic environment, like, yes, leave, obviously, but if it's just someone who, I don't know, you have a coworker that always is rolling their eyes when you talk or gives you a stank face or whatever. Like, they're not really doing anything, right? They're just kind of being stupid. You just say, yeah, they transferred out, they got fired, whatever. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to roll your eyes back at them. You just ignore it, okay? But it depends on the level because, yes, I do one-on-one coaching. You can DM me or go to the link in my bio and email me if you want. But like, you don't need to do anything in the 3D. But some coaches will be like, oh, you should just not, because I've seen it on here. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. They're like, oh, just ignore it. If someone's treating you badly, just ignore it. Absolutely the fuck not. At least not for me. Someone's treating you bad, you need to stand up for yourself. Because you still have boundaries. Like, yes, manifesting, but if you're in an environment, let's say you're in an abusive relationship, okay, and the motherfucker is coming at you swinging, you're not just gonna fucking stand there. The fuck? Yeah, so that's where I don't understand. So it really depends on the level of what's going on. Like, if it's something that is just minor, or it's like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing really toxic going on in your workplace. You just hate that office. You're just like over it. Then you could just stay there, right? If you're not feeling like you want to quit or look for another job, you're just like, yeah, it's getting better and better every day. Or I'm so happy that my dream job hit me up out of nowhere and they liked my resume and I'm out of here. Or like, you could just do it like that, okay, if there's nothing crazy going on. But if there's something crazy going on, you're being blatantly disrespected or lied to, or like, you don't need to fucking stand for that and manifest it away. Like, you know, there's still a level of you respect yourself in the 3D that no one crosses you. You know what I'm saying? The fuck out of here. You're living for my lives. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, you can just affirm that you're back home in the States. Exactly. That's all you have to do. Any type of affirmation that you make, you want to just say that it's already done. And that's how you're going to word it. No matter what you want. You're going to word it like it's already fucking done. Well, if you're saying that there's no hope for a better paying, more abundant job, then you need to omit that from your vocabulary. You just say, I'm so happy that I found this position that I love, that is paying me more than I ever dreamed of. You just have to find the way that you're talking to yourselves, because even these things, and like, I understand you guys are like saying this in the chat because you want help with it, but you have to be mindful the way that you're talking about it. And a lot of times you can answer your own questions just by the way you're talking, because the thing, oh my God, this is like, when I see someone, okay, leaving comments, not just on my videos, but in other manifestation content creator videos, and they're like, but what if SP is a narcissist? Do you see what the issue is right there? You're calling them a narcissist, so how do you think they're going to show up? You know what I mean? They're not going to show up in your preferred way if you're labeling them as a narcissist, or if you're labeling them as cheap, or you're labeling them as avoidant attachment. Do you see what I'm saying? You're creating that story. But what if they're this? Well, yeah, you made them that way because you keep saying that they're that way. So they have no choice but to show up that way. I mean, it's just like, it's about how you're viewing them. It's about how you are viewing anyone in your life, okay? Because I bet you your best friend shows up for you in a way where they're always chill, they always have your back, they're always fun to hang out with. Why? Because that's what you're saying about them. So of course they're showing up that way. But if you have a person who's showing up in a way that you don't prefer, but you keep saying, oh, but they're this way. Yeah, they're that way because you keep saying it. I mean, if you think there are a lot of narcissists, that's what's gonna show up for you. You know, me personally, I don't think I've ever even encountered a narcissist. And I mean, maybe in passing, but there's no one in my life who I consider a narcissist. Like, you have to look at the labels you're giving to everyone. Like, you're still creating that version of them. And yes, if someone disrespects you, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. You did create that to an extent. You did. Not because you wanted that, not because you consciously were, you know, but because there was a belief system in there that was in resonance with that type of disrespect, no matter what it is. So if you have a belief system that you always attract avoidant attachment styles, right? And then they leave you on red for like 6 weeks. I mean, maybe it wasn't a story about that particular motherfucker, but it's a story that you had going on, and that's what happened because you labeled them as an avoidant attachment because you had a story that's all you attract. Okay? Like, yes, they overuse the word narcissist. Oh my God, seriously. It's like, not everyone is a narcissist. Calm the fuck down. Like, legit. I'm sure there are legit narcissists out there, but the way everyone just like, you don't even know exactly what that term means because it's like a psychological description of a mental disorder, and motherfuckers are just tossing this out like fucking candy on Halloween. Oh, they're a narcissist. Motherfucker, maybe you're a narcissist. The fuck? Oh yeah, the dating advice, fuck that shit. If ever I see, and I don't really get dating advice like on my FYP, but if I see it, I'm like scroll, or I'll block them. I will seriously, because I don't want that shit in my feed. I'm not trying to give the algorithm that. Like, dating advice does not work with manifestation. It does not, okay? Because these motherfuckers that are talking about that, maybe these tactics worked for them because they experienced that themselves. Now that's their belief. But in my opinion, anyone who's giving dating advice from like, you know, that perspective, it's like they're fucking butthurt. They're miserable or something. Not all of them, but I've seen it because I could sense it in their energy. They'd be like, all men are like this, all women are like that. You know what women want? You know what men want? I'm like, my dude, you need to control your fucking ego, because like someone, I don't know, someone butt hurt your motherfucking ass. Now you're out here saying that all men and all women are all, you know, people are the same just because you dealt with them. You know what I mean? I can't stand the dating advice shit. I really cannot. Like, no. If you're into manifesting, and let's say you have had a shitty dating life, I guarantee you will be able to find how you created even that. I guarantee you. Yes, dating advice is oh my god, I agree with that. I mean, I've seen like so much shit on here that I'm just like, who is believing this? Who is believing that? Like, you, and number two, okay, your relationship is specific to you. What you want with a specific motherfucker is your thing. No one else can tell you what you want or what to do. Okay? They cannot. The manifestation is specific to you. That's why whenever even I'm working with someone, the first thing I'll be like, what do you want? What do you want from this person? You will get a whole bunch of different answers because everyone wants something different. Okay? Even if they just want a committed relationship, they'll still, what does a committed relationship look like to you compared to this motherfucker over here? Because even that, okay, looks different. So you can't go by cookie cutter dating advice saying all men are like this, all women are like this. No. People from the South are like this. Motherfuckers from the North are like that. Oh, if you date someone in Cali compared to if you date someone in Boston, shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut the fuck up. Not everyone is the same. Everyone is an individual. You cannot put a label on everyone. Everyone is an individual. Yes, exact. Oh, if they wanted to, they would. That phrase needs to get the fuck out of here. Seriously, they need to ban that shit. And the feminine masculine thing, yes, like, oh, be in your feminine energy, be in your masculine energy. Like, yeah, there is energy that everyone has, no matter what gender they identify as. There's always masculine and feminine energy, but it's not like in terms of a gender. It's just about, are you in a receptive mode or are you in like a giving mode? That's it. The fuck. Yeah, it's so ridiculous, honestly. Yeah, everyone in your reality can only show up how you see them, and they do not have free will because everyone is you pushed out. So they can also show up how you perceive different brackets of motherfuckers. So if you had 3 different jobs but your boss was always an asshole, okay, you might not be perceiving that particular boss as an asshole, but you have a program in there that says all of your bosses are assholes. So now by default, your new boss, even though they're a brand new motherfucker, has to show up as an asshole. So it could sneak up on you because it's like, you know, oh, I'm glad you're here too. You know, it really depends on what, you know, you could have a story about the particular person, but you can also have a story about that general, like, relation to that type of person as well. Ooh, thank you for the rose. But yeah, if they wanted to, they would. You know what? That works for motherfuckers, because they believe that if they wanted to, they would. No, if you wanted them to, and if you commanded them to do that, they would. And how you command them is what you expect from them. So if you expect to be treated like a god or a goddess, then that's what they have to do. It's not because they want to or they would. It's because you expect that. Yeah, the whole, like, I mean, I'm honestly, like, I have a general understanding of the whole, like, pick me energy, but it's like you don't need to do anything in the 3D to have yourself stand out, okay? And another one, and a lot of motherfuckers are guilty of doing this, like, you post shit hoping that this motherfucker is gonna see it to get a reaction, or you send them a picture, or you, like, no, that's pick me energy right there. You don't need to do shit. You don't need to do shit. You can ignore a motherfucker, okay? Just stonewall them, okay? And they can still show up for you because it's what you expect. But if you're trying to force the 3D, you're not fucking gonna get what you want. You know what I mean? If you're not checking the 3D, but nothing you're noticing the manifestation hasn't happened, that you're checking the 3D, because you notice in the 3D that it hasn't happened. So you are checking the 3D. Might not be physically looking for shit, but your awareness is on that nothing is happening. So that's still checking the 3D. Oh, Tiny Diny, that's so cute. Thank you. I mean, you can't, like, you can't say it's done. Okay, you can't say this is done, and then, but nothing happened. Because now where's your focus? It's not on it's done, it's on nothing happened. Even though you didn't go physically looking for something, you still, you see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the more you, like, experiment with the law, even though you're always manifesting, but the more you really, like, dive into it, you're gonna see how these fucking trippy thoughts and paradigms can come up. It's just legit. Yes, you do everything from your mind. If you stay consistent, how long does it take approximately to cut? There's no answer. I will never answer an approximate time because time doesn't exist. So I would be a fool to tell you that it's going to manifest in this amount of time, because time doesn't exist. It's done. It's just, where are you placing your awareness? Okay? Time does not exist. Your focus is all that exists. When I first jumped on here, what time was it, right? I asked everyone in the chat, what time is it where you at? Okay? Now it's a different time. It's a totally different moment. Okay? Someone in Australia is experiencing a different time than I am. You see what I'm saying? Because it doesn't exist. So why would I be focused? Oh, what time is it in Australia? No, I'm not doing that. I'm focused on right now. Is a perfect time for me to be on here. So you can't, like, anyone. Here's another thing that I'm telling you. Any motherfucker, and I've seen these videos too, and I scrolled right on past. They're telling you, use this sound and your SP will text you in 10 minutes, or any bullshit like that. I'm like, you are full of shit, motherfucker. You want some clickbait, you want some views. If you're falling for that, I'm gonna be honest, you're fucking desperate. You're desperate. Okay? Because why, like, who is this motherfucker? Bro, your SP ain't shit. And this is something that I also want to address with the SP motherfuckers, right? Remember that motherfucker that you were obsessed with, you were in love with a few years ago or a few months ago or whatever. Now you look at them and you're like, ugh, what the fuck was I thinking? But they look exactly the same. They still doing the same shit. They still at the same job. They're the same motherfucker, right? But you're now disgusted by them? Who was hyping them up? You took your focus off of them, and now you're like, ew, like, what the, and you're like, You're like, what the fuck was wrong with me? What did I ever see in them? The only motherfucker that is hyping this SP up is you. They ain't shit. Fuck your SP. They ain't shit. They ain't all that, okay? They ain't all that because they're not God in your reality, only you are. That's why when you transfer your attention, you say, ew, what the fuck was I thinking? They ain't all that, but they're exactly the same motherfucker that they were when you were obsessed with them, when you were in love with them. Like, right? It's not them. You're like, what the fuck was wrong with me? I was hyping them up and they ain't all that. So now this SP that you're like, oh, I'm in love with them. I'm so obsessed with it. They still ain't shit, friend. I tell you what, they ain't shit. Your focus on them is making them the shit. That's what it is. So this is why motherfuckers that know what they're talking about, when they're talking about the fucking law, they're saying, take this motherfucker off the pedestal. Kick that motherfucker off the pedestal. They ain't all that. They ain't all that. You just like, yeah, SP, they're cool. Okay. I know they're in love with me because I'm the shit. I know they're obsessed with me because I'm the shit. I know they're blowing up my phone because I'm the shit. They can't do better than me. I'm the fucking best thing that's ever happened to them because they were never all that. I'm all that. You're the one that's projecting this energy onto them in the first place. Do you see with that analogy? If you don't see it by now, then I don't know. You ain't ever gonna see it, I don't think. As I be discreet again, I'll wait for you all to digest this. If you're homeless and feeling stuck, where should you begin? So first of all, you want to look at your exact situation, okay? What amount of money do you want to see in your bank balance? Okay, I would go with that. And I would just visualize a specific amount of money with your bank name on it. Okay, I would do that. Number two, I would look at, and something that is like palatable for you now, not just everyone is going to say they want $500 million or some shit, like, but no, what is palatable? What is something that you're like, okay, yeah, I'm comfortable with this amount, whatever amount it is. Okay, find the amount that's comfortable for you, picture that in your bank balance. Okay, cool. Now what you're going to do is, where do you want to live? Okay, do you want to live in an apartment? Do you want to live in a house? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, where do you want to live? And then you look at pictures of that place online, or even if it's just a city, okay? But get an idea of what type of place you want to live in, and picture a comfortable amount of money with your name on it, available balance to you, full name. Boom, that's it. And you say, I have X amount of dollars available to me now. I am living here. If it's a specific address, you look at pictures of that specific address. If you're in close proximity and you're able to get around there, you walk around the neighborhood. You drive around the neighborhood. You say, that's my house. I live there. I'm so happy that I'm living there. I'm so happy and grateful that I have X amount of dollars in my bank balance. I'm so happy and grateful that this new home is better than I expected. That's where I recommend you start. You did that with your house. Yeah, that's how it works. Like, that's literally how it works. I've done that too with manifesting places where I wanted to live. I just like, I live there now. That's what it is, you know? So it's like, I mean, that's really what you have to do. Like, if you just focus on the thing that you want, and you only focus on that, and you just don't think about the how, you just say it's done now. The safest bet is to say that it's done now. If the thing comes to your mind, but when are you moving? Let's say, you know, you want to move places and your lease is coming up and you still haven't found another place, or you haven't got approved, and it's done now. It's done now. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's done now. Yeah, see, there we go. There we go. You just knew it was going to be your house, okay? That's what I said a little bit ago, okay? I was like, the thing with successful manifestations, the thing that they all have in common, okay? I just knew. I knew. That's it. I mean, whether it's something you didn't want to, you could have projected that saying, I just know that's going to happen, and it happened. But the most successful manifestations that typically arrive the quickest, you just knew the shit was yours. You just knew it was going to happen. You knew, like, that's it. Because knowing is the ultimate. You don't even need to do a technique. You don't need to do anything, really, okay? Good. The same with your husband. You see? Because knowing is the ultimate. You can just know something and that's it. Because creation is finished. You don't check on the logistics and the details of it. It's not your job. It's not your prerogative. Okay? So the techniques are there and they can be very helpful. Especially if you feel like you're in a place where you're stuck or something, you know. But you have to look at it like, you know, even if, let's say, whatever, I don't know everyone's specific situation here, but if you're in a situation where you are feeling like, how is shit gonna happen? You just have to say, everything is always working out perfectly for me and better than I expect. And you just say a blanket affirmation. And Neville Goddard talks about this in one of his lectures too. He was like that some woman approached him and like her life was like, had pretty much gone to shit. I mean, everything. Okay. So he just told her, you know, I think this is where he said, use the isn't it wonderful technique, where isn't it wonderful that my life is so amazing or something like that. And it just, you encompass everything. For me, I like to say everything already worked out perfectly and better than I expect. That's it. Because now it's like, it's perfect. Okay. So there's no room for any nonsense to like be smuggled in there, and better than you expect. Because when you just say better than you expect, it's better than you could even have imagined. Because your imagination can picture something, okay? So amazing. But I will tell you this. When the manifestation happens, for me personally, it's always been better than I could have imagined it. I'm like, whoa, like shit just lined up. And I'm like, damn, okay, that was perfect. That was better than I expected. Because that's really your expectation, right? If you're using that ballpark fucking affirmation. Yes, I expect the best case scenario. That's a good one too. Isn't it wonderful how everything always works out for me? That's a great one too, you know. What changes you experienced when your self-concept became fire? I mean, I don't know if you're asking that for me personally, but for me personally, I'm going to be really honest, and I don't really care how it sounds. I've always, to me, I'm the shit. And I've always been that way, right? I don't know, because maybe I'm an Aries. Even as a little kid, I'm like, I always get what I want. It's always my way. I'm all that exists, because I'm very focused on me and what I want. I don't care about the outside, okay? Not to say I don't care about my friends or, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like always, I'm very self-motivated. So I've always had a self-concept. I've always said I'm lucky. I'm magical. You know, I've always said shit like that about me. So I never noticed any changes because I've always been like that. But if you haven't had the greatest self-concept, and I just want to say, to me, and I've never heard anyone else say this, I don't know if they have or they haven't, I just never heard it. Self-concept is your fucking phone, okay? Your belief systems are apps on the phone, but it's not your self-concept. So if you are looking at your life and you're like amazed with yourself, you're like, I'm the shit, everything always works out for me, I'm so lucky, okay, you don't need self-concept work, okay? But if you are, like, let's say your phone, right now the phone is like 10 years old and shit is running slow and it's raggedy, whatever the fuck, right? You feel low energy, you're not in a good mood, like you feel like everyone is out to get you, or things just don't go your way, or like you're in a victim mentality, okay? Then what you're gonna do is you start saying, I am perfect, I am amazing, I am all there is, I am God, I am the only one, everyone loves me, everything goes my way. And you're going to start to notice that things start improving, and you're not going to view circumstances or anyone else as out to get you, or that you're in a victim mentality. You're going to be like, oh, that actually worked out for me. Okay. And then you're going to start to see, or it could be an instantaneous shit. I mean, it just depends. But if you've had that low self-concept for many years, it might, there might be an unfolding of it. It might not always be instant, but you're going to start to, you say, I'm the center of the universe. I always get what I want. Everything goes my way. And you're going to start to see things, your reality begin to reflect that. You might, notice that motherfuckers are nicer to you, or you might notice some extra money here, and not just about any belief system, just in general. Motherfuckers, let's say, pay for your coffee at Starbucks. You're just gonna start to notice shit like that. That's how you know your self-concept has changed. Well, yeah, I mean, because you only do live for you. You're the only creator in your universe. Who else are you living for? That's why, when someone, especially when they're talking about a specific motherfucker and they say that they can't live without them, I'm like, now you made that motherfucker God. Because your specific person can't live without you because you created them. So if you took your awareness off of them, where'd that motherfucker go? No one knows. They're not there anymore because you took your focus off of them because you're creating them. The fuck out of here. Exactly. You can't feel guilty for living for you. If you're not living for yourself, who are you living for? Okay. And this is why, for me personally, I never bent to any societal fucking program. Okay. I was always cutting school. I didn't fucking graduate. Okay. I don't give a fuck. Because I would say, even from fucking, I don't know, 13, I'm like, my dude, I'm not gonna, for what I'm gonna do, I don't need any of this shit. Why the fuck do I have to go to school? I know how to read, I know how to write, I know how to do basic math, okay? I can have social interactions with peers, I'm good. I don't need to know no goddamn world history that I don't even know is fucking real. American Revolution, suck my junk. I don't give a fuck about that. Oh, but everyone else is going, I don't give a fuck what anyone else is doing. And I never, that's what I'm telling you, everyone on here, they ask me, not everyone, but a lot of time in every live, I always get asked, how did I get started on this? You don't understand. I was always like that. Some would call it rebellious. I was always getting in trouble because no, don't fucking tell me what to do and don't tell me how to think, because I am me. I am not like anyone else. That's why when any one of you are in here, okay, or even anyone that I work with, I'm like, what do you want? What is going to make you happy? And I don't give a fuck what their answer is, because that's for them. It ain't for me. If that's what they want, okay, I can provide for you steps on how you can build that for yourself, but I'm not doing it. You're doing it. You know what you want, okay? That's it. You're not living for anyone else. Fuck that, because there's... Did you ever hear, and I've heard of a lot of these stories, okay? And there are people, and they know that they're gay, okay? They know that they like, whoever type of person, right? And they know that they're gay, but they settle and they get married to someone of the opposite sex because, their religion or society, or what would people think, or to please their parents. And they were miserable in that whole marriage, okay? They did the whole thing, white picket fence, all that, but they're gay, okay? And they knew that. But they went along with what other motherfuckers wanted, and they became depressed, they became miserable, they maybe developed an addiction or something to cope with it, is they weren't living authentically. Because they knew who they were, but they caved to societal pressure. And I can see maybe, how someone can fall into that, okay? It's just, I never could. I'm like, fuck you, this is my life, I want to do what the fuck I want. So that's why I never fucking went to school, because I'm like, who the fuck are you? Because at the end of the day, you are the only one in your mind. So if you're living a life that is fake, you have to deal with that. These motherfuckers that you wanted to impress or you want to make happy, they don't have to deal with that. So fuck them. I don't give a fuck if it's your parents. I don't give a fuck if it's your siblings. I don't give a fuck if it's your fucking priest or rabbi or teacher. Fuck them. No. You know what you want. That's it. If you don't live for yourself, you're gonna be very. I'm telling you, okay. That's a dangerous path to walk down. I'll tell you what. Fuck this shit, honestly. So if you are not living for yourself, you're not living at all, honestly. Because you're living a fucking lie. You're living a joke. You're living what someone else expects of you. Fuck them. Fuck them. Yes. Thank you for your service. No, I'm just, because my biggest thing is individuality. Okay, because you're unique. Your wants are specific to you. What you want for your life is specific to you. Your manifestations are specific to you. You can't just. That's why even with the manifesting motherfuckers, okay, they be like, oh, but I want this, whatever it is, but it's like taboo or something, right, by societal standards. I'm like, okay, but you want that. So what's the problem? They're like, oh, but no, you can't care what anyone thinks. Even if it's something that you're manifesting. Oh, but what about karma? Fuck karma. Karma is a self-made fucking illusion as well. Okay? All of this shit. Hey. Ooh, what's up? Level all the way up. How are you doing? So it's like you can't live someone else's belief. I don't give a fuck if it's society, okay? If it's moral or ethical, there are no morals, there are no ethics. It's what you buy into. Oh, thank you. It's what you buy into. So I don't believe in karma. So I'm like, okay, that's great if you believe in it. Some motherfuckers don't believe in astrology, so it ain't gonna be prevalent in their experience. That's it. You want what you want. You are God and everything is neutral. Okay, and even if you want to go to like, I don't know, I think I've seen this shit on like, I don't know who really quoted it, but I've seen it with Tupac. I've seen it on like t-shirts and shit, and it's a picture of him and he's like, only God could judge me. So that quote, wherever that originated, okay, when someone says only God can judge me, guess what? You are God. You are the only judgment. You are the only one saying, is this moral? Is this ethical? Is this right? Is this wrong? So if you think something is wrong and you think something bad is going to happen because you want something that is not mainstream or is taboo, or then yeah, you're the only one bringing consequences to, because there's no consequences. I'll tell you the fuck why. There's no consequences because the only moment that exists is now. Clean slate every motherfucking moment. You see that? You see that? There is no past. There's not even a future. It's now. So now, okay, if you're thinking of shit that you did previously, even though you're not doing that now, and you think that there's to be consequences for that, no matter what it is. Oh, you took a cookie out the cookie jar, and now someone's going to get mad at you and you feel guilty. Who's bringing that into the now moment? You are. Period. And I mean this, I used a very delicate fucking analogy, but there's no consequences unless you bring them. No consequences. There's nothing. There is no past. You have no history unless you bring it into the now moment. That's it. Or if you're worried, oh, well, if I don't save money for my future at 401k, fuck you. Okay? You don't need to fucking do anything. You don't need to save money. Money don't need no rescuing. And that's coming from a belief system, because the number one, I don't know if it's the number one, but a top belief system that motherfuckers have in the 3D matrix is about money. And you have to work. And you have to fucking save money for retirement. That's a belief system. You know that shit ain't real. But motherfuckers feed into it and they buy into it, and they think the only way that they can have a good life and nice things in the life that they want is that they have to work for someone else. But that's not true. It's not true. You don't have to save money. Okay? You don't. You just always say, I am always provided for. I live a life of luxury. I am opulence itself. I am God. That's it. But you have to really, especially with the money shit, okay, and saving money and this or that, You have to understand that you are the currency, which I say this in like every fucking live, okay? If you are wealth in and of itself, it cannot be taken from you. It cannot be given to you by anyone else out there. Now, it might appear like, okay, you say I'm wealthy, okay? You walking down the street and you pick up a random lotto ticket. You don't even play the fucking lotto. You pick it up, it happens to be the winner of the jackpot. Okay, yeah, that it was technically like handed to you, right? It looks like it was handed to you from the 3D, but it's really you as God giving it to yourself first. Because if you don't give yourself the fucking thing, you cannot have it. You cannot have it if you do not embody it now. So, now that I fucking did my sermon, do I put subliminal messages in my videos? I do not. I do not. So, I don't know. I mean, like this... They're hypnotized. It's so funny. Yeah, fulfill yourself and you'll have it in the outer world. I totally agree with that, because you can't come from a place of lack, because your God focus is still on the place of lack. So you want money. I want it. That implies you don't have it, right? See, I am the currency. I am all there is. I am wealthy. And you know, a lot of times, like, especially with the societal programs with money and things like that, it's like you really have to just, you know, a baseline for any, I don't know, you know, again, I don't know all of your specific situations in here, but if you are in a job right now that you do not want to be at, okay, but it's tolerable and you don't, you know, it's going to cause you too much anxiety to just quit altogether. Because if you feel inspired to just quit your job one day and that you just did it, you don't even, then that was the right action for you to take because it was inspired action. But if it fills you with anxiety to quit your job because you don't know how the money is going to get here, then you just start saying, I am wealthy. I am naturally wealthy. I have always been wealthy. More money than I can even imagine always finds its way to me, no matter what, under any circumstance, perfectly and easily. And you just start saying that, okay? And you're not going to put it in lotto, okay? You're not going to put it in, you received an inheritance. You're not going to, you know, all the standard shit where people, you're not going to put it in a lawsuit. You're going to put it in a way, money, more money than I can imagine always arrives to me perfectly and easily and better than I expect. And you could still work your 9 to 5, but you affirm in that the whole time, and then maybe at a certain point you quit your job. Maybe you're offered a better position with triple your salary. But you know, like, everyone's situation is different, but that's what I recommend if you do want to quit your fucking 9 to 5, okay? And you don't feel like it's the right decision to just up and leave out of nowhere, okay? I don't see why anyone would have resistance to affirmations, because you're affirming to yourself all day long, because an affirmation is really just a thought. So, I would maybe take a look at how you're thinking throughout the day, because how you're thinking throughout the day is still an affirmation, and you odds are don't have resistance to that. Yeah, I can't type in here, I don't think, or at least I don't know how. Rampage affirmations are the same thing as robotically affirming. You go all in and you just, you know, you keep saying it over and over for like blocks of time. What if you want to get money, you have no job, or I just, that affirmation that I said, that money always comes to me no matter what, under any circumstance, easily and perfectly. Like, you don't need a job. You don't need anyone to give you a handout. You just start saying that. If someone can, please, I don't know if anyone wants to type type the affirmation in here, that you guys could screenshot it. You say, I am wealthy. I am the currency. Money always comes to me easily, perfectly, no matter what, under any circumstance. I am wealthy. That's it. I mean, money really, like, think about it, okay? Money is actually very easy to manifest, because the only trigger that anyone could have about money, it's not like an SP, where an SP can do a whole multitude of things to trigger you or say something or whatever, right? Money, your only trigger with money is the lack of it. So that's it. That's the only trigger with money. I am wealthy. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to say. But, you know, like, it'll get easier for you to be on board with that new story the more you repeat it to yourself. But you know, and also I wouldn't recommend specifying where the money comes from. Just say that it arrives to you perfectly and easily under any circumstance, no matter what. Because if you specify that you want a lotto win, or you specify that you're going to go to the casino and win big, like, you now alienated a whole bunch of other possibilities how the money could come to you. So you don't want to do that. Money just always finds me no matter what I do. I always have more than I need. Everything is always taken care of. See you later. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm about to get off on here too, because my phone is like on 17%, and I've been talking for a while. I think I've been on here for like over 2 hours. I got the notice saying like I was on here for 90 minutes, and that was like a while ago. So if you feel, thank you. If you feel resistance towards astral projection, you would just say, I astral project easily and effortlessly whenever the fuck I feel like it. Like, anything. Thank you guys for the likes. Glad you all were able to join the conversation. Like, before I get off here, any affirmation is just centered around, what do you want? You make a statement that implies it's already done, and that's it. That's it. I had a good time too. Hell yeah. Thank you all for being here. And this will get up on YouTube at some point. But, you know, I have to charge my phone, and then I have to like babysit my phone so it could like download properly to my phone, and then I could upload it to YouTube. Yes, thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you typing that out. That's a good one too, Daisy. Thank you. Woo! My YouTube is linked in my bio. It's the same name as it's just my same username is on here. Glad you guys had a good time in here. So, I mean, that's what I have for you guys today. Yeah, I just got, my phone is telling me that he needs some charging. So, this is a long conversation. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you for the gifts and the likes and the comments and the conversations and the shares and everything. Thank you. All of you guys are amazing. So, I'm going to hop off here before my phone just like, you know, shuts down or whatever. And I'm going to have me a glass of wine, and I'm going to have me a snack, and I'll be posting, and I'll be posting this to YouTube at some point. But, you know, I'll keep the TikTok stuff coming. Ooh, they just gave me an alert here with something about my team. That's great. I don't know what that means, but I guess I'll check that out. So, all right, guys. Pleasure as always. Chit chat again soon.